I didn't even know it's recording now.
Maybe it's not written.
Oh yeah. Hello and welcome to a new vlog. I still don't know exactly how I'm going to edit this one, but we just got back from 5 days in Paris. So I'll either put the footage before this, so you might have already seen it, or I'll put it at the end. My plan was to film a bit of a vlog while we were there, but we were very busy and I was very tired, so that didn't happen. I did take like snippets of what we saw when we were out and about, but that was pretty much it. But I had a few knitting or woolly goals, I guess, and I think that I ticked most of them off. So I'll talk to you a bit about my acquisitions when I was there, and yeah, let's get into it. So the first thing is actually what I'm wearing, and I don't typically talk about clothes that I buy. Like sometimes if I thrift some things, I'll mention it. But yeah, also because I don't buy a lot of clothes, like ready to wear. So yeah, this might be a bit strange, but yeah, I was excited to go to Cézanne while we were in Paris because it's a brand that I've been following for a very long time now. And yeah, I was excited to go shop there. And I think the reason that I never bought something from them before is, well, there's a few reasons. First, the price. like their sweaters retail for about 100 euro or more, depending on the style. And I think I always thought it was too expensive, but then when I was thinking about it, like I often spend that amount anyways on yarn for sweaters, so what's the difference really? Um, but yeah, I wanted also to like feel the fabric, also because most of their sweaters I think have like polyester or polyamide blended into the yarn, so I wasn't really sure if I would like the feel of it. So I wanted to go in person, and I did. And I picked up this cardigan. So before I went, actually, I went online to see what they had, and there was one cardigan that they had, not this one, but another one that I was really interested in trying on at least because I really liked the color, but it was unfortunately sold out. So now I am kind of on the hunt for a yarn that color. So if you know anything, any yarn that is similar color, let me know. But yeah, so I tried this one on instead. I think it's the Otello cardigan. It's the one that I think it's like a either a brioche or like a fisherman rib. And it has like tiny, tiny cable details at the cuff and along the raglan line and at the hem. And yeah, I just basically fell in love with the color and like the way that it's a round neck with a nice, like pretty sturdy button band with some backing here, like a ribbon backing, and really nice buttons. So I kind of, yeah, fell in love with the color, so I tried it on, and as soon as I tried it on, I really liked it, so I decided to buy it. And I think it's a mix of alpaca and polyamide, a few fibers like that. So I was actually pleasantly surprised with how it feels. It's very comfy. And then while we were there, my husband was like, "Well, why don't you buy more than one thing? Because I mean, there isn't a Cezanne store near me that I can shop at." So I was like, "Well, if you say so, maybe I'll look at other things." So I looked also at their blouses that I really like, and I picked up this one. I am in love with this. Like the fabric is gorgeous. This is one from I think a recent collaboration that they did with Basiste, which is another French brand. I think they focus mostly on like embroidery, but this is I don't even know how to describe it. It's like yeah, I have no idea how like what this type of fabric is called. It kind of looks like um filet crochet, but it's not crocheted. It's like pieces of string that are like sewn together. It's very cool, and I felt like it was very unique, like the way that it's like I think they made like the panels and then sew them together. Like it's not like cut from a piece of fabric, if that makes sense. So yeah, I really liked it. So I picked this one up as well, which I am kind of scared to wear now because it's like too pretty and it was quite expensive. So, yeah, let's see how well it lasts, I guess. But yeah, that was it for my little non yarn shopping haul. And yeah, it's obviously not sponsored. I paid for everything myself. And then what else did I get? I got a bit of yarn. I was actually a bit disappointed in the beginning, but then it turned out fine. But yeah, I started by going to visit Lil Weasel, um, and they have like two stores like in the same alley type of thing. And one is with yarn, one is with fabric. And when I went, the fabric one was closed, and I think the yarn portion of the store is on two stories, but I think that the top floor was closed, if I understood correctly. And downstairs, they only had like the summer yarns, which is not what I was looking for. So I was a bit sad that that was the case. And when we went, it was the only day that I could go. So yeah. And then I think the day after that, we went to Versailles. And there they also have at least one yarn store, maybe more, I'm not sure. But the one that we stopped at, I'm gonna put the name here because I don't remember. It's something.com. And I they only have I think two brands. So the if I remember correctly, one is Penguin and the other is Fildar. And I didn't buy anything there, but I thought the experience was quite unique because so those brands, I'm pretty sure, are like brands that my grandmother used to work with. Work with, I mean like knit with. Um, because I know that she used to order some yarn from France. I know about Bergère de France, but I don't know the other ones. But I'm assuming that those two were also stuff that she used because I have some of her old knitting magazines, and those came about. I've come across those brands quite often in those magazines. So yeah, and in the store, it looked like everyone that was shopping there was like looking at the magazines that they still have, I guess, from those brands. So they were looking at the magazines and then like looking at the pattern that they want to make and then finding the yarn in the store. And I think that that's not really a thing anymore. But so it was really cool, I guess, to see that. I really enjoyed that. Yeah, it was very nice. It was kind of like what I imagined yarn shopping was like before the internet. So yeah, it was very cool to see how these people were shopping for their yarn. Anyways, but yeah, I didn't find anything to bring home in that store. But then the next day, we went to two different stores. One is one that they have a few, like it's a, how do you say, not a chain, a chain. They have many of the same store in the city. The name was Une Maille à l'endroit. And they had some yarns from France and some from other places, but I wanted to try something from France. So I bought some Fonti. This is the Fonti moustache. And I bought this to make socks. I'm assuming it's not marketed for socks, but it's made with 30% super kid mohair, 20% silk, and 50% merino. So I'm pretty sure this would be a good fiber for socks. And I really like the color. It's like a nice, it's like a mix of, I would say, rose gold and like, what is rosewood in that area, I guess. Yeah, and it's like quite shiny because of the silk, I think. So yeah, I really liked this one. So I picked up two balls to hopefully make socks at some point. It's a fingering weight. Yeah, pretty standard fingering weight yarn. And actually, before we went there, we went to La Droguerie, which is a store. It's like a haberdashery. They have not only yarn, they have like a lot of buttons and beads and stuff like that. And they're, I think they used to, maybe they still do, I'm not sure. They used to have their yarns in Montreal, and the way it works is it comes on cones, and you can ask for the quantity that you need. So that's quite nice. And yeah, we went there to check it out, and I did buy something. I was quite undecided on the color, but I am being very brave with color lately. And so I picked up some orange. I don't know if it's picking up well on camera, and I am quite far from the camera actually, but I'll put some inserts so that you can see the colors better. But yeah, I landed on these two bases to hold together to make something. I don't know what yet, but we shall see. Got a sweater quantity for my size. So let's see. So I got some alpaca, and I don't have the cards with me, but I'm pretty sure this is a fingering weight 100% alpaca yarn. And it's quite soft. Sometimes I find that alpaca can be itchy on my skin, but this one I don't feel any prickle at all, so that's good. And then this one is like a brushed alpaca, I think. If I remember correctly, the name of this base is just alpaca, and this one is Brume. And I think it's a mix of, it's like a high content of baby alpaca, and the rest is polyamide. And at first I thought, well, it's fine, like, it's cheap yarn, so I'm still gonna get it, it's fine. It was not cheap. So yeah, I don't know if I would have gotten it if I had found out the price before she wound this up for me. But it is what it is. I mean, I bought like this sweater that has polyamide inside. I'm not against synthetic fibers. I just prefer to not work with them. Like I prefer to work with something very rustic, something that has like character, I guess I would describe it. Like something that you can feel that like people like poured their heart and soul into, if that makes any sense. And I feel like polyamide just doesn't give those vibes. And I also don't love like the feel of it. I think it's also sometimes like too warm, it's not breathable enough, which is why I typically avoid it. But I really like this color, so I decided to get it anyways. Um, and yeah, I think with both of these held together, I'm probably gonna have a DK, maybe a worsted weight gauge. So yeah, I was looking for something to make the Sweetgrass cardigan by Vanessa of Tricomarang. That it's a cardigan that I've talked about a few vlogs ago. I was swatching for it with some yarn that I had in stash, but it was like a grayish beige, and I already have cardigans in that color, so I wasn't too sure. I did not end up casting it on. So I was looking for yarn for that cardigan. And now I think I just need to swatch because I have a hard time visualizing the cardigan in this color. I still bought it, and if it's not going to be for that cardigan, it's going to be for something else. So yeah, let's see about that. And then while I was in Paris, I didn't get a lot of knitting done, but I did work on my sock. So this is the Colorwork sock that I've been working on. Again, I'll put a little insert because I am too far to show you. But it's basically an all over Colorwork sock with little tiny flowers all around. And it's going well, I would say, but there are a few things that I'm not too sure about. Ciao, tu viens dire allô? Ah oui! She was very happy that we were back home. She spent a few days with her grandparents, my in laws, and now she's very, very cuddly. I'm actually surprised that she left my side for 30 minutes. Yeah, you were outside on the patio. Anywho, she was very happy that we arrived back home. This morning I was working and she was sleeping on my lap, which she never does. So I was very happy to get a lot of cuddles after being away from her for a few days. I was saying that there are a few things about this sock that I'm not too sure about. One thing is the color dominance. I will insert a picture, and I think that you can tell that on the top portion, I kind of messed up my color dominance, and basically there's like one place in one round where it looks like I'm using three colors, but I was only using two, and I think it's because of the way that I was holding my strand like during that row and after that row. So when I realized here that this was the case, I switched, and now I think the little stem of the flower looks like too thick. But I think like when you look at it from far away, you don't notice it. Like it's just a tiny thing. I'm still not sure which one I like best, but I will pick one, and then for the second sock, I will just do that for the whole sock. And then the second thing is that I'm doing a sole gusset to not like interrupt the stitch pattern on the side for the gusset. And I have done one sock before with a sole gusset, and I think I was decreasing. It was like another, not one of my patterns. I was decreasing every other round, but I found that because all the decreases happened under the foot, it was like hugging too much my heel. So I decided on this one to do it every third round. But now I'm thinking that it might mean that like this area of the foot is going to be too big. So I don't know. I'm just working and hoping for the best. Hopefully, once I finish the sole gusset, then I can try it on and see if it's fine. Otherwise, I'll just rip back and redo the gusset. Let's see. I was hoping to have a test knit call soon for this one because I would like to release one pattern per month, like maximum, and the problem is that I have so many ideas but like not enough time, and I don't want to work on too many patterns at once, and so I have like kind of a schedule, and I have limited myself to one pattern per month. And so I wanted this to be a November release, but if all of these things don't work out and I need to spend more time on it, then it might go to December where I'll have two pattern releases. We shall see. So that is in the works. And then the next thing that I want to cast on is a sourdough starter sweater for my jar. A very kind person amongst you commented on my previous vlog where I was talking about my sourdough starter, and they said that it's good to wrap it in a blanket because, I mean, I guess it depends where you live and how you like to heat your house, but here, like in Italy, when it gets cold outside, it gets cold inside. Like the houses are not very well isolated, or the older houses. Our house or our apartment is 25 years old. So yeah, it's not super old, but it's not very energy efficient. It's not very well isolated, so it does get as cold inside as it does outside very quick, and we are quite cheap on the heating actually. So yeah, it's cold here inside, and someone said that you should wrap your sourdough starter in a wool blanket. So I was like, well, wait a minute, I can knit a sweater for it. So I would like to do that this week because yeah, the temperatures have dropped and my sourdough starter is already like not growing a lot, I think, because of that. So along with the other tips that this person gave me, I will try this to keep it warm. Let's see if it works. I think I'm getting sick. I don't have time to be sick. It's now Friday, and I have just started the synopsis testing it, and I always get a bit nervous when I started testing it. I think that just because I am an introvert by nature, and having to run the group chat always makes me nervous for some reason, because I don't know, it's always a lovely experience, so I have nothing to stress about. But yeah. Anywho, so I thought I would sit down now and start my sourdough jar sweater with my tea. I think there are some patterns available for this type of thing, but and mostly for crochet though. But I feel like just sitting down and freestyling this. I have done before, or attempted to do anyways, like a pencil holder that I wanted, like that I knitted and I felted and it didn't felt enough, so like it wasn't stable enough to actually use like pencils inside. But I think that when I did that, I used I think it's a free pattern, or like a more like a recipe on how to do a like circular blanket type of thing, by Elizabeth Zimmerman. I think she has like a recipe of like how many stitches to cast on, and then the rate of increases to make a circle. So I think I'll start with that for like the bottom of the jar, so that it's like a circle. And then once I reach the diameter that I need, then I'll just knit in the round until it measures however many centimeters I need, which is like 10. And I may work like a cute little folded edge. So yeah, I'll attempt that. Let's see what happens. I also think I got bit by a mosquito on my forehead in the middle of October. Nice. Oh, and I forgot to mention, I think I showed you the yarn last time I was talking to you, but I forgot to tell you what it is. It's the Matisse by Rosa Pomar. I ordered one ball when I ordered the Mondim sock yarn a few weeks ago, because it's one of their newer bases, so I was curious to try it. I got it in the color 04, and it is a worsted or Aran weight, I think, and it is made with Campanissa and Merino from Portugal. It's actually like some yarns from this brand, I find them very itchy. This one is super soft, like on my skin. I don't feel any prickle at all. It's quite amazing. And I think it's woolen spun, and it's also like dyed in the wool, so I'll try to put like a close-up of the yarn, because you see like many different colors, but when I hold it like pretty far away you can't really tell. It just looks quite uniform, but when you look closely you see many different shades, which is quite cool. And yeah, since I only have one ball, I decided to use this one for the sourdough jar sweater, so that I can use it up and also like kind of swatch at the same time if ever I want to make a project with this. The recommended needle size is anywhere from 5 to 6 millimeter. So I grabbed my 6 millimeter needles just so that it's like a super quick project, and I don't really care about the gauge or what kind of fabric results. So that's the plan, to use the 6 millimeter needles, and I think it's the first time in a very long time that I use such big needles. I'm used to work at a much smaller gauge, and yeah, but I remember that I think the first sweater I ever made, I'll have to talk to you about that sweater one day, because I did that without a pattern, like before I knew patterns even existed. So I kind of like freestyled it, and I remember I used 6 millimeter needles, and I thought that these needles were small. And now I'm like, it's huge. Yeah, anyway, so let's get started. I think I need to Google the Elizabeth Zimmerman, like, I think it's a circular blanket or circular shawl. Let's see. Okay, I think I found it. It's referred to as the pie shawl or the pie blanket, like pie as in P-I. Okay, it's actually more difficult to find than I remember. And I don't know if, like, I found one, but I don't know if it's the original Elizabeth Zimmerman pie shawl. And where would one find that? Probably in a book. But yeah, there's a few websites that tell you like this recipe in their own words. So let's just stick with one and see what happens. Okay, I just found it. The one that I followed last time, it was the Very Pink Knits Knitting Help Knitting a Pie Circle video on YouTube. So let's follow that one.
Go under everything, grab that yarn up, that's 2, yeah, right here. And then yarn over, go under everything, grab that yarn up, that's 2, yarn over.
I feel like a new knitter again. I was trying to do the pinhole cast on in that video and it's too fast for me. I need to look at the slow motion pinhole cast on. Okay, the rest, once you get started, the rest is quite simple. Let's get knitting. All right, I'm so itchy. A little update. I think I finished the bottom portion. The light is not great. You probably noticed that I have like a spotlight that my husband, who was in charge of everything technical for this channel, has bought to hopefully improve the lighting, but we just received it today and I have a remote for it, but I don't here. And yeah, I've been testing it and I think it's too yellow right now. How do I... Maybe like this it's better. Let's see. So yeah, I finished like the bottom. And well, my first thought is that I'm using 6mm needles because that was the upper end recommended on the ball band, but I don't like it at this gauge. I love the yarn, like it feels really nice to knit with, but I think if I were to make a sweater, I would definitely go down the needle size. I don't know yet if it's going to block out, but you can see like it's super see-through. So if I were to make a garment with this, I would definitely use 5mm needles, which is on the lower end that they recommend. So yeah, I'm going to go put this on the sourdough starter jar and see if I need to still increase a little bit more. Otherwise, I'm just now gonna knit a tube. And yeah, let's see. Now it's almost time for dinner, so I think I'll go cook first, and I'm planning to make a soup, so while it cooks I'll keep knitting the body of this little sweater.
Travel on by locomotive, turning of the century. See their fine clothes, soot is turning, satin's black as the night can be. But there's a new line, the lack of one-up, cold as spring as a mountain spring. Through the forest and over water, Northern Railway beauty sings. Didn't you know that Miss Phoebe Stone, her dress stays white both day and night on the road of Versailles? Tip your cap and pay your fare. Track is wider, ever higher. Breathe that New York mountain air. And in the next car, have a nightcap. Brandy Alexander flows. It can help to pass the time fast on your trip up to Buffalo. Now Phoebe, don't fret. Bring your book along, yeah. For the cars stay bright by electric light upon the road of Versailles. Pagoda sleeves and dinner jackets. See the people laugh and sway. Conductor, do you see this lasting? Will we always ride this way? Now there's a war on whole world over. Boys need coal that's burning clean. Out of fuel now, the lack of walnut, days of frail fade to dream. Dear Phoebe, they cry. Now we must say goodbye. Pack your suitcase tight and bid goodnight
Vuoi
to the
parmigiano?
darling road
Olio.
of Versailles.
So I'm officially sick, and this is way too big. I think I'm gonna finish it and throw it in the washing machine this weekend and see if it felts and gets a bit smaller. But anyways, I have a lot of yarn left, so I can make another one if needed. It looks so ugly. I'm gonna try to put it in the washing machine to felt it and then like block it on the jar. Let's see what happens. It almost looks like a hat right now. Can I try it on my cat? Let's see. She's not gonna like that.
She was sleeping, poor baby. I'm gonna give you some treats after. Yeah. Oh. T'es pas contente? Oh non!